it's really true what you say. I mean, women are rising, and yet, you know, I think it's like only 5% of CEOs of, you know, Fortune 500 companies are women. Only 70% of people sitting on those boards are women. So what is that? That even though many doors are opening, there's a sense that we're not walking through all of them the way that we might.
Yeah, totally true. And so there's three different things that popped into my mind in answer to that. One is that it's not a women's issue. It's a business issue now, because it's more and more evidence is coming out to show that when women are sitting on those boards, when the majority of when there's a certain majority of women directors on the boards, there's a 66% return on investment compared to the companies that don't have a majority of women on the boards. And that's just one sample of a statistic. There's many, many now showing that it leads to more creativity, more solutions when women are in the leadership positions. So it's now becoming more of a business reason that will help women move into leadership. Organizations are a bit old-fashioned and antiquated in that their systems and structures are not set up to reward and recognize feminine strengths and contributions. And that's changing. There's a lot of great stuff happening that's changing. And I want to just be clear, when I say feminine values, I don't mean gender. I mean, you know, although women are biologically and culturally more likely to exhibit these, I mean the deeper values of wisdom, inclusion, wholeness, love. Those are the deeper feminine values. They're not assigned to one particular gender, but women tend to have them more. So I got off track a little.
No, you didn't. You're talking about the external reasons to a great extent that, you know, companies and corporations aren't really geared to women, and yet they need women's values. So then there's this internal aspect.
Right. So just to end the thing, they don't just need feminine values, they need feminine strengths. When you look at the studies now, of global studies of 64,000 people interviewed through John Grisman's work, for instance, it shows that the majority, 2/3 of the people interviewed, agree that the strengths they're looking for in the new organizations, the interdependent, interconnected organizations, are feminine strengths: collaboration, credit sharing, reaching across the table to include people in conversations, those kinds of things. So I'm just still building a business case for it. But to the answer, that the more finite question about women and what our part is in not taking those roles, you know, it's probably good sense on some level, because it's not exactly the kind of environment that has a woman thrive, corporations. And the thing is, we need women to stay long enough so that they can change it. So it's a real catch-22 in a sense. But what women, what I find is that women they get their well-being and their confidence and their goodness about themselves from other things besides productivity. Men, the ones that I meet, are mostly oriented towards that it's really important for them to know what their purpose is in the world. It's very important for them to be productive. And women also, that's true of, but also we get our fulfillment from our relationships, from contributing to the community, from our families, different places that we contribute. So I think we could opt out of taking the corner office because there's a sacrifice involved. And it's a catch-22, like I said, though, because we need to stay long enough to change these systems so that they are environments where women can thrive. And I think it's happening, but it's slower than we want.
Yeah, and that really brings me to the heart of your book, which are these 5 co-creative powers. How do we, as women, hang in there until we can change the system?